Drake is almost more myth than man. He rarely gives interviews, keeping his private life tightly under wraps. Yet he has soundtracked our lives for over a decade, and has the same number of hits as Madonna in the top 10s. Recently, Nicki Minaj shared that his real net worth is around $1 billion. The 35-year-old is a rap phenomenon. He has outsold all the classic hip-hop greats, including Tupac, Jay-Z, and Eminem. He has recently released his 7th album, Honestly Nevermind, to critical acclaim and massive commercial success. Drake is the most streamed artist of the decade on Spotify, with over 28 billion streams. His 7 albums plus 3 of his mixtapes have reached #1 in the US Billboard charts and topped charts worldwide. Drake is so successful that a mattress in his $100 million Toronto mansion costs $400,000. The price includes someone who visits the property to turn it over. So how did a former child actor from Canada manage to surpass his own mentors, date Rihanna, win 4 Grammys, and break several records previously held by the Beatles? Today, we're discussing how Drake became the biggest rapper of today. Born on October 24th, 1986 in Toronto, Ontario, Aubrey Graham had a hard childhood. He used to live on Weston Road in Toronto's working-class West End, moving to the more affluent Toronto neighborhood of Forest Hills in 2000. Graham's father, Dennis Graham, is a black Catholic from Memphis, Tennessee, and was a drummer for American rock and roll musician Jerry Lee Lewis. His mother, Sandra Sandy Graham, is a Jewish Canadian who served as an English teacher and florist. Aubrey faced many challenges even after moving to a more stable living condition. In school, he was bullied for being both biracial and Jewish. He attended a Jewish public high school, but felt like he didn't really fit in. In 2010, Aubrey told Hebe magazine, "Nobody understood what it was like to be black and Jewish."
What was the response you get as a Canadian black Jewish rapper trying to get attention in the US?
This guy is this guy? Like, people really, drawing the connection. And I always say, I wouldn't have it any other way, man. I wouldn't have it any other way, because I truly don't know if I'd be here if I didn't have so much to potentially overcome, as some people may look at it. I mean, to
you
me,
don't look at it that way.
Not really. I was just like, man, I just got to be a good rapper. But, to a lot of other people, they were like, wait, what? You're Canadian? You're Jewish?
Despite childhood problems, Graham speaks proudly of his Jewish heritage. He had a bar mitzvah in the basement of an Italian restaurant, lacking the money for a real one. He promised to become rich and throw a re-bar mitzvah, which he eventually did in the music video for Heifer, a song from his 2011 album, Take Care. His life changed when he first tasted fame at 15, but it wasn't through music. Aubrey had a friend in school whose father was an acting agent. The friend believed that Aubrey would be well suited for acting due to his charismatic personality and good lying skills. The agent immediately found Graham a role in the Canadian teen drama series Degrassi: The Next Generation. Aubrey played the role of a basketball player and eventual paraplegic named Jimmy Brooks, and made about a $40,000 salary for his involvement with the show. Between 2000 and 2008, Aubrey appeared in 100 episodes. Today, Drake thanks his acting career for helping his mother, who was very sick and poor at the time. Drake dropped out of high school to dive deep into acting, but he would retroactively graduate in 2012. Drake's exposure to rap music started when his father's cellmate in jail would rap to him over the phone. Eventually, Graham began to get into it, and he decided to write his own lyrics as an answer. His love of music grew, and he had notebooks full of songs in his makeshift studio that he made in his Forest Hills basement. In 2006, Aubrey released his first mixtape, Room for Improvement, and began using his stage name, Drake. This was a self-released mixtape that eventually became Drake's self-founded label, October's Very Own, or OVO. The mixtape sold 6,000 copies in 2006. Drake used this tape as a way to boast about his bigger ambitions as a rising MC. He was arrogant, showy, and possessed a confidence like he was already on the top of the rap game. His confidence carried him pretty far in the end. The rest of his biography is probably no mystery to you. Instead of following in his footsteps, I'd like to talk to you about what exactly made Drake successful. Drake has the every person effect. Questions around identity annoyed Aubrey during his teenage years, but they also became a key to Drake's success later on, when he became all things to all people. Black and white, Jewish and non-religious, a singer and an actor, a working-class hustler, an inspirational middle-class professional, and a wealthy superstar. His peculiar handsomeness is both soft and hard. In a world where ethnic and musical diversity is championed among the millennials who make up most of his fan base, he sits in the middle of a culture and style. He is rapping about his feelings. Drake is far away from the gangster rap genre, but it is why Drake is such a huge success. People like to listen to what they can associate with, and because most of the world hasn't been in jail, artists like Drake are way more relatable. After all, we've all had relationship troubles and lacked the confidence at some point in our lives. They say, talk about what you know, and Drake mastered this. When Drake began, rap music went hand in hand with toughness and masculinity. But Drake was one of the first artists to throw all that out the window. The way he talks about his feelings and his level of sincerity is labeled soft by several critics. But there's nothing wrong with this. This is common for all young men these days, which is another reason why artists like Drake are so important. It shouldn't be weird for young men to talk about their feelings. It's not soft, it's normal. And not only has Drake normalized it, he made it cool. After all, if the same guy who's constantly preaching about how lonely he is the same exact guy with thousands of women fawning all over him while he keeps winning award after award, well, maybe that encourages some younger men to think that it might just be okay to open up and share your feelings every now and then. Drake has always been super savvy. The 1.6 billion views on Hotline Bling is almost certainly down to his memetic dad dancing in the video, while others Googled day and night to find out who the real Kiki was. Drake always has memes in mind, conquering the streaming world and, more recently, taking on TikTok, writing 2Z Slide specifically for the dance-based platform. Drake keeps his music releases unique, keeping them off YouTube. He occasionally puts his biggest hits on YouTube, but he often publishes on Spotify. Some people without a $5 Spotify subscription consider this annoying, but from a business standpoint, it's a profitable move. Drake is extremely savvy about streaming. In 2017, he decided to release a playlist. The idea didn't mainly catch on, but More Life was so successful that it broke previous records set by Drake. On its first release day, Apple Music reported More Life was played 89.9 million times in 24 hours. When artists were scared that Spotify would decimate the music industry, Drake worked out exactly how to play it. The more songs you publish, the more streams. And the more streams, the better your chart positions. The more number ones, the more attention to your persona, and the higher your fee for touring and collaboration climbs. Every time Drake releases a record, you can expect to see all tracks throughout the top 40. If it's not his release, he'll be found on one of his famous friends' hits. Streaming doesn't stop with music, though. Drake was among the first to jump over to the gaming world, breaking records by collaborating on Twitch when more than 500,000 people watched Drake play Fortnite in 2018. Drake's music doesn't break the rules. He hasn't reinvented the wheel, but he's incredibly good at balancing commerciality with credibility, ensuring global sales across multiple demographics. He knows better than to keep still and stay local. Drake has adopted a global perspective, and as his career has progressed, he's quickly spotted trends from SoundCloud rap to grime, drill, Afrobeat, and reggaeton. It eventually led to criticism that he is a cultural appropriator without a style of his own. Drake responded to these claims during an interview in 2019, saying that he always pays respect anytime he embarks on one of those journeys. Drake works closely with people in different scenes, as is evidenced by his collaborations with Skepta, Wizkid, Bad Bunny, and many others. Drake isn't afraid to dismount his superstar pedestal and work with the new kids on the block. Dave, Migos, Dram, and I Love McConan can all thank Drake for their success. He has been an early adopter of everyone, from Kendrick Lamar to The Weeknd. A recent example is him discovering Brooklyn Drill and inviting two of its stars, Fivio Foreign, and Sosa Geek on Dark Lane demo tapes. Finally, there's something majestic about his music. Drake's most significant success has been maneuvering two different musical identities, sitting in equilibrium and blending the two into one. He can be both an R&B lover man and a hip-hop thug. Drake is constantly perfecting this image, like a painter, adding detail to his self-portrait. He has Over, a testosterone-riddled single from his debut album, and Find Your Love, a sweet, dancehall-leaning R&B track. He had the very much flexing Started From the Bottom and Hold On, and We're Going Home on the third album. The inner monologue of humanity, vulnerability, and doubt. It's never been a hip-hop trope, but Drake made it okay. But what do you think makes Drake so successful? Let me know down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss out on our future uploads. We've got some awesome content headed your way real soon, so stay tuned. Peace.